Be honest. What do you think of the new look? Well, I'm glad someone does. Perhaps I'll get used to it. I have a lot to get used to right now. Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. Do you need something?
Of course.
Not sure what to feel. My parents are alive, and I need to save them. I'm lucky to have you by my side. I don't think I could face what's to come otherwise.
Fine. What's on your mind?
Good.
Of course.
Not sure what to feel. Did you want something? If not, I'm perfectly happy to just gaze upon you a while.
Of course.
Even if I could remember, I'm not sure I'd tell... Good.
Of course.
I suppose you've earned it.
Shadowheart looks like a stack of gold. Never thought I could get so excited about someone's forehead, but here we are. Looks like your troops all trooped up. You'll need to send someone... Let's hop. Making me sweat.
Love Shadowheart's new look. Softer, less severe. It suits her.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
There's no more radiant sight than that of someone who's learned to love themselves anew. Shadowed in name, but no longer in spirit. It suits her.
Oh, we have a new look for a new Shadowheart. Nice as it is, she still doesn't have the best hair in the camp.
Something is different about Shadowheart. New facial creases, perhaps. A fresh battle scar I hadn't noticed. Bah, it eludes me.
I swear, I can already...
Shadowheart looks different. A change of diet, perhaps?
The curse has been lifted. The land's cleansed of the shadows. Kethric's reign of living death is over. Your courage has been tested, and in this at least, you have triumphed.
Sergeant, if you are here, I presume Wern's Rock is secure, and preparations for my inauguration are complete.
No, Lord Gortash. We were interrupted. Another quake in the lower city. More severe this time.
So you came cowering to my chambers? I'm flattered, Sergeant. But even I cannot command natural phenomena to cease.
Forgive me, my lord, but there is panic in the streets. The people are afraid.
Perhaps the people would be calm if you kept your nerve. I expect better from the Flaming Fist than to run scared from a slight tremor in the earth. Get back to your duties.
Duties, duties, duties. Patrolling and saluting and following and bowing and scraping. Yes, sir. No, sir. Rip and cut your throat, sir.
Your plan is falling apart, lordling. Give me a reason not to cut you to ribbons.
Control yourself, Orin. We need to focus on reuniting the stones or the brain will break free. These quakes are just the start. Neither of us expected the prison bearers to kill Ketheric. They'll be traveling to the city. Let's make sure we give them a Baldurian welcome.
My prodigal bloodkin is among them.
They live?
Barely. I made mince of their ugly mind matter. And if they dare return, I will strip out their offal.
Beyond the campsite, the city waits in uneasy silence, one sleep away.
I was concerned when I saw Shadowheart creeping about with a blade in the dead of night, but it was just to cut her hair, it seems. It suits her. Oakfather preserve you. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seems my faith was more than well-founded.
If you have business to the road to and the city needs us. If you have the road and the city needs us. If you the road and the city needs us. You're amply reinforced with the absolutes. There's a Harper. Beyond that, our course is at your command. At your command. Nothing hurts anymore. Shadowheart walks a little freer of the shadows. She could shave her skull and paint it purple. It would still suit her. That speaks well of your taste. I've heard my share of bad ballads about things I never did. If you have questions, ask. Just don't expect my answers to rhyme. It was Baal alone we faced in our time. And, bad as that was, he had no elder brain for a lapdog then. Help won't come from the history books, or from any old tales I can spin you. This is your story to write. There. Have I fulfilled my role as your wise and wizened elder? Don't tell me which. Against all life experience, I will choose to assume the best. Ask it. More than I would like. In my youth, I was a brief and very much unwilling member of a colony's hive mind. I felt the way they think, saw the world as they do. Foul, unnatural creatures who find the foulness in us and twist it to their will. But then, who am I speaking to? You have far more experience than I. I believe you. You remind me of another I knew. Marked by forces beyond their control. The gods can grant power or strip it away, but so long as your will remains, you have the only weapon you need.
Well met.
I'm lit.
Aren't you a sight for sore eyes?
Hey, soldier.
You wish to consult me?
How can I help?
The gate is closed, as is Cazador. Cazador and his rite of profane ascension. An imperial soiree, attended by devils and spawn alike. A grand ceremony to honor one exalted vampiric master. And elevate him to an unfathomable station. To place him in a position of such esteem. The world will yearn to kneel and offer their necks. Of course I envy him. Why wouldn't I? The problem with what Cazador has done is that he did it to me. If the time comes and I can stay one move ahead of him, I'll take his place before his blood can hit the floor. What's a handful of the wretch's servants? If they're anything like me when I was enslaved, they're all but begging for death anyway. After 200 years of shit, pure shit! I think I deserve something better. All I'm saying is, let's be clever about it. If an opportunity arises for me to become a more magnificent bastard than I already am, why turn it down? Let's find out more about the ritual before we waltz into Cazador's front door. If we track down my old comrades, the other spawn, we may discover more and be finely positioned for yours truly to ascend. If we don't find my brethren, they'll find us, likely with bared fangs. We should get to them first. Then we can make their pretty tongues talk. Unless Cazador's changed their orders, they'll be in the dens of this town, seeking prey. What can I do for you, my friend?
Thy wheel dost thou require?
Looking forward to a bit of rest.
Begone, friend.
The events of the last days weigh heavily upon you. Sleep's rest is slow to come to one whose mind is so full. The Absolute is not a god, but an elder brain controlled by the chosen of the Dead Three. They mean to use it to take control of the Sword Coast. All who carry the tadpole are governed by the brain, and by extension the chosen. It will take but one order to transform them into an army of mind flayers. This would have been your fate too, were it not for the astral prison. and the mysterious visitor inside of it. With his help, you have uncovered the cult for what it really is. A plan of conquest orchestrated by the gods of death themselves. Together, you have the power to thwart the Dead Three. If you follow this path to its end, the Elder Brain will not answer to the Chosen. It will answer to you. And what then? You are prone to impulses as uncontrollable as the gods themselves. Will you even have a say in what you do? Will you liberate the true souls from their parasites and their religious delusions? Or will you use the power you gain for your own purposes? Even as you utter the words to yourself, you know it is but an intention. And these dark desires of yours have little regard for your intentions. You will not have long to wait. All you need to do now is sleep. But sleep is not for you.
Hear me. Gather. The reckoning is upon us. The city thirsts for domination. March. Join. Power.
We're under attack. Help me. Fight your way to the portal. I need your help.
On my way. Might as well.
Sylvanas, preserve us. That orb's about to shatter. I'm here. Help me. I'm under attack.
No time to dally.
What will it be?
Such authority.
Light on my feet. No time for mercy.
go hunting.
Let none stand in our way. Every enemy of nature must fall.
Friend of Gage, you will be cleansed.
This is the easy part.
I am ready.
Another step forward.
It's not over. Come to the skull.
The straight path.
Let's finish this.
Father, shield your servant.
It's not over. Come to the skull.
Time to rest.
Hurry! I can't hold them back alone.
Still alive, so that's progress.
flare. What the hell's is happening?
The Githyanki is the source of our protection against the Absolute. I must subdue him, or everything we've worked towards is lost. Don't let my form deceive you. I am the one that's been protecting you. I am the one that came to you in your dreams. Help me. You saved a child from a viper back in the Druid's Grove. You saved the Ursula Night Soul from her soul cage. You let me live last time you were here, though it brought Blackheath's wrath upon you. I told you about my room in the El Sol Tavern that night when you held me. I was vulnerable. You comforted me. Your continued existence as yourself and not a mind flayer should be all the proof you need. Now, help me. The God. Destroy the God. They prevent me from subduing their master. Do it now. Together, we can turn the tide.
Time for some bloody work. this embrace. Lies before me. Should get started.
Thank you. That was too close. Don't look at me like that. I am a mind flayer, yes. Without me, you would be a slave to the Absolute.
To owe one's life to a mind flayer. It seems to make a mockery of this entire struggle.
You may call me the Emperor. An adventurer, I came from Baldur's Gate, though I was never one to be constrained by circumstance. I longed for more. That longing brought me to Moonrise Towers on a search for treasure, to a colony of mind flayers who caught me, changed me into what I am now. I served the Elder Brain, the one you know as the Absolute. I was a thrall like any other, but I was fortunate. I broke free and started a new life in my old city. I sustained myself on criminals, unglamorous, but there are plenty of them, rarely missed, and they fueled me while I did my work. I had the good fortune to meet Duke Stelmane. We formed a partnership, and through her, I became the governing force behind the Knights of the Shield, the largest mercantile operation in Baldur's Gate. People referred to me as the Emperor. Such was my influence, though of course they had no idea what I really was. My needs were sated. I was happy for a while, until my true nature was discovered by the tyrant himself, Lord Gortash. He tore me from my home and brought me back to the Brain, where I became a slave once again. A slave he continued to call the Emperor. The name was intended as a slight, to remind me of the heights from which I fell. But I have grown fond of it. It encapsulates well who I've become. Rather them than potential future allies, like you. Gortash sent me on a mission to retrieve the astral prism. I was one of many, but the first to find it. How Gortash or the other chosen learned of its existence, I do not know. The moment I found it, I felt a change. My free will returning. I followed the feeling inside and found the Githyanki. I realized what the prism was for. Containment. While my body was within the prison's bounds, my mind was free. I could resist the Elder Brain, the Chosen. Better yet, I could plan to overthrow them. All I needed to do was subdue the Githyanki and find allies in the outer world. You. Prince Orpheus, son of the first leader of the Githyanki. His power has been the source of your continued protection against the voice of the Absolute. The power to disrupt hive-mind communication. It is the same power that enabled Orpheus's mother to bring about the fall of the Illithid Empire eons ago. A power she passed on to him, and that I leveraged for you. When Orpheus's mother left, a usurper took her place. Blackith declared herself queen of the Githyanki. Blackith wanted his power, but Orpheus rose against her, and so she sealed him and his honor guard within this prison. Bound by infernal chains, Orpheus could never leave. Bound by duty, his guard never would. They were close to breaking my honor, my prince. And if they had succeeded, we would be lost. I am relieved. You have embraced your potential enough that you could help me eliminate them. Alone, Orpheus will be much easier to control. Most certainly Orpheus. He is a threat to her reign. Some Githyanki still revere him in defiance of their teachings. Blackith was safe as long as they believed him to be dead. But as you can see, he is very much alive. She kept him this way because she was reluctant to eradicate such power. Power that she might one day wish to take from him. If the Githyanki ever find out what she has done, there will be civil war. Blackith will be finished. That would be a terrible idea. The moment he is free, he will attack you. Your only defense would be to kill him. And in so doing, he would doom us both.
Even though he is subdued, you feel Orpheus's revulsion. A pulsing hatred that cannot be contained. The Emperor is telling the truth. To him, you are just another wretched Illithid.
You carry a tadpole. As far as Orpheus is concerned, you are already a Illithid. A sworn enemy, just like me. You are already more Illithid than you realize. It has improved you. You seek to reverse an inevitable process. A process of evolution. When I first escaped from the Elder Brain, I too railed against the change. But the longer I have inhabited this form, the more it has grown on me. Even if my original body remained intact after I transformed, I would not return to it. Doing so would only impose limitations. As As an Illithid, I have far surpassed who I ever was before. You, too, should embrace this change. I believe we'll have a better chance of defeating the Elder Brain if you embrace your latent Illithid potential. I've been studying you for a while now. I believe I can trigger the next stage of your tadpole's life cycle, while continuing to preserve your independence. You have seen what I can do. Imagine yourself with the same strength, the same intelligence, the same devastating beauty. If you let me, I can evolve you. You will be able to do things you never thought were possible. There will be physical alterations, of course, but only partial. You will retain most of your current form, and you will soon see that the benefits outweigh any perceived loss. The answer is twofold. One, I can, but it would kill you, as I told you before. Two, why would I? You have done well with the limited form you have, but you would do far better as an Illithid. So, do you wish to evolve or not?
Even as you say the words, you feel a lurch of disappointment. Your mind bristles with Illithid potential. How could you be so cruel as to deny yourself what you want most in the world?
I felt that. It's your nature. You cannot fight it, so embrace it. It wants to evolve, but it cannot do so alone. It must commune with another. A tadpole, nurtured by the psionic energy of the astral plane, cocooned here for millennia. It has become extraordinary.
A wave of disappointment, stronger than any you've ever felt. And then, stillness. You've resisted your Illithid instincts. For now.
You are not ready yet. Keep hold of it then, until you are. It has enough vitality to further your evolution, and your allies. Perhaps you will be more inclined to try it when you see more of what our enemy can do. But we mustn't lose focus. We need to resume our journey. You heard the Chosen. The Brain has gone to the city, and the army marches to follow. We must not let them reach it. We must find the Brain, and bring it under our control.
Gall and I answer. Well, it ends. I'm a bit busy at the moment.
We can talk later.
I'm a bit busy at the moment. We'll talk later.
The orb hums with cerebral magic. Permeable, but impenetrable. Within it, the Githyanki prince is as silent as a corpse, but for the murmur of his powers being siphoned away.
There is nothing further I can do for you right now. Consider...
So your confidant was a mind flayer all along. Disquieting, to say the least.
So your mysterious artifact, tamer of parasites, is only another parasite itself. How do you feel? Knowing the cost of keeping your transformation at bay. Still is, probably. Along with a tadpole that, lest we forget, is just waiting for a chance to split your skull. Illithids are monstrous creatures. But in the end, they are only that. Creatures. And if it can, a parasite will keep its host fat, happy, and safe. Until it is finished feeding, at least. Am I comforting you? I am not comforting myself. Use the Emperor as it would use you. Or discard it. My days of doubting you are done.
So, there's been a mind flayer inside the artifact, or astral prism, the whole time we've had it. Sounds like utter madness, even though I've seen it with my own eyes. The more I learn, the less I understand just why I was sent to retrieve that thing. But it matters little now. I do not serve Shah anymore, nor the Mother Superior. The prism is no longer my mission. Saving my parents is. But I digress. Did you want something?
Oakfather preserve you.
Your parasite communes with Lae'zel's. Her heart races as she learns of the events inside the astral prison.
Orpheus, Gith's only son. He lives. It is not the Geich visitor that Vlaakith would destroy and Voss would set free. It is Orpheus, the blood of the mother, the prince of the comet. Listen close. The Emperor spoke only in half-truths. For you to know the tale of Orpheus, you must know the tale of Gith and of Vlaakith. Long ago, when we rose up against our Geich slavers, Mother Gith made for the Hells to secure an alliance with the archdevil Tiamat. Tiamat gifted the Githyanki our red dragons. Gith remained in the Hells, and Tiamat's envoy proclaimed Vlaakith our ruler. The first Vlaakith of many. It is Vlaakith 157 whom my people now call Queen. Yes. Our current queen has claimed undeath and reigned for 1,000 years. But it was the first whom Orpheus tried to slay. Orpheus is Gith's only son. He led his mother's own honor guard in a coup against Vlaakith I. It was Kithrak Voss himself who slayed the prince in vicious battle, or so the Varshas teach us. Yet the Prince of the Comet's been with us, subdued by that repugnant Illithid. Should Orpheus go free, he would tear Vlaakith's empire to pieces and build new glory from the scraps. We meet Voss in the city, and we obtained the key to freeing Orpheus from his prison. Every word Voss spoke, he spoke true. Orpheus is the living proof of the Queen's lies, and the living weapon that conquered our Geich slavers. One word from his lips, and the people would doubt. 2 words, and they would rage. 3 words, and they would bow to the true heir. If the Githyanki are to be free, the Prince of the Comet must lead the way. What about him? The historical slates describe Orpheus as a fearsome, terrible creature, powerful beyond measure, and enthralled by the Geich. So mad with power, he'd smash through the Githyanki Empire and deliver the shards to his illithid masters. And glowing with such psionic force that he and his red dragon blazed a trail through the skies. A lethal comet careening towards my people. Lies, of course. Vlaakith spread a false image of Orpheus as monstrous betrayer, and her knights as the butchers who sliced him through. She was right to fear him, I'll grant her that. So great is the comet, it could shatter her reign. The Emperor may be loathsome, but it's right. Orpheus can disrupt a Geich hive mind. A talent like that makes the Prince a powerful shield and a powerful weapon. Why destroy a weapon like that, when you can contain it in a relic and keep it for yourself? A weapon is only an asset for as long as it isn't pointed at you. The means of Vlaakith's own end has been ripped away from her. Better to have Orpheus killed than to risk his escape. Better to risk the rise of illithids than let the Prince of the Comet deny her the godhood she craves. Orpheus is honor guard, loyal to the end. Trapped by Vlaakith in the same prism holding their noble prince, fruitlessly hacking at the sphere that contains him. They see us as Geich, tadpoled husks in the Emperor's thrall. I regret their deaths, but I pledge to live as they perished, in the service of Gith's son. Very well.
Gods. A mind flayer's been getting their tentacles all over our dreams this whole time. I'm really not sure about putting any trust at all in this thing. It's already shown itself a liar. I've got my eyes on the Emperor, and Karlach doesn't blink. What's on your mind?
You wish to consult me?
Oh, quite the rug pull, eh? A mind flayer manipulating us this whole time. Such creatures are not to be trusted as a general rule, though this one does appear to have had a significant hand in our survival up to this point. At best, an ally whose motivations remain shrouded in deceit. We should be wary of what such an alliance may cost us.
So, we owe our lack of tentacles to one of the very creatures that kidnapped us. And now it's offering us power, if we're willing to evolve.
Life pulses from within. The The parasite's thoughts whisper at the edge of your mind. It wants to share its...
Go on. Don't be afraid. It only wants to help you evolve.
The tadpole screams for growth with painful intensity. It has been starved of life, of purpose. It welcomes your probing like a void waiting to be filled. If you let it, it will evolve you. Just as the Emperor said. Your thoughts swirl with possibility. Your body strengthened, your mind bolstered, your very self expanded. All within your reach, if you open your mind to the parasite.
Wait. Remember, it has enough vitality to nourish you and your allies. Commune with it. You'll see. It only wants to help you. Disappointing. You have lowered our chances of success with your actions.
Soldier?
We've had a mind flare whispering to us in our dreams all this time. I really shouldn't be surprised by anything at this stage. Still, it seems keen to be an ally in its own way. Compared to what we're up against, I'm not sure that's a bad thing.
By Baldur's bones, this is a lot to take in. Let's see if I've got this right. 1, we've been carrying a mind flayer around with us this whole time. 2, it's been appearing as someone else in our dreams, cajoling us to embrace our new illithid talents. 3, the mind flayer's been siphoning a Githyanki prisoner's powers to shield us from the Absolute's voice. Did I miss anything? How could I forget? One of Baldur's Gate's most distinguished figures, a mind flayer's ally. Sensational tales, aren't they? Almost unbelievable. With a narrator so unreliable, how do we tell fact from fiction? I can't pretend I have the answer, but I know the Illithid's right about one thing. It holds our fates in its talons. Until the Absolute falls, there's no getting rid of it.
What is needed?
Thou walkest alone. On all these, love is no domain of mine, but it is often and thus. Fate, dost thou require a new as the
Sylvanus' blessings.
Let us show them how it's done.
Fate, dost thou require a new as thou...
Always nice to be wanted.
Looking forward to a bit of... Begone, friend.
We must find where Gortash and Orin have established themselves, and take their nether stones.
Waiting for my return. We should do what we can to find them. What they know could help us.
How high?
Can't give up now.
Excuse me. I can't find my mum. Yenna! And my cat is Grub. He's shy. I'm not. My mum is called Emery. She went to go get some herbs for her spots. She was sick, and she was supposed to come back the same day. That was last 10 day, though. Oh, wow, thank you. Mum loved food like this. Simple is best, she always said. I'll look for her. I think she'll probably come soon. Thanks a lot.
It's up there and we're down here.
That's why we need to...
Watching gods. But I never thought I would be happy to see the city again. Much less to smell it. The Harper safe house I spoke of is on the bridge at Worm's Crossing. Danthelon's dancing axe. Information. The Chosen have a head start on us. I'd like to know what they've done with it. You think me lonely? In truth, I prefer travel in a small pack such as this. Unburdened by numbers, we're free to act rather than react. A little like the old days. With allies, every bit as peculiar. Give or take a few tadpoles. Would you? In time, then. Perhaps once you found a rocking chair for me to doze off in. Ask it.
No, little one, but... Worm's Crossing. The gaping maw of the city. Nature has little control over what happens beyond that bridge. I have. He speaks to me during my nightly meditations. He is well. And Oliver also. At times they are one, and at others they divide. Easier for playing, perhaps. And the land thrives also. I doubt you would recognize it. Perhaps one day, you and I can both return and see it for ourselves.
Speak.
Worm's Crossing. We could be inside the city walls before long. And I could be back where this all started. I hope so. So long as I'm willing to stroll right into the Mother Superior's trap, they have no reason to not tell me where to go. Not quite. Above all else, protecting our base of operations in Baldur's Gate was the reason I had to surrender my memories to begin with. Or at least, that's what I was led to believe. We should look for someone to point me in the right direction. Otherwise, we'll have little recourse but to wander the whole city searching. I know what you mean. And under different circumstances, I'd like that too. But first things first, I'm afraid. If by warm you perhaps mean a flaming arrow, I doubt they'll attack in public. No, I expect they'll point me in the right direction so I can face my reckoning away from prying eyes. Worm's Crossing is a choke point. If I wanted to intercept a new arrival, I'd find somewhere before the bridge, blend in amongst the crowds, and wait. Most people seeking entry to the city will be refugees. I'd look wherever they're gathering.
Hi. It's me, Yenna. You remember me, right? You were really nice to me before, and, my mum hasn't come back yet. She might come later. I don't think she's coming. Could we maybe stay here?
Only a truly callous heart could refuse. Besides, our little abode could use a child's laughter.
Thank you, thank you!
Incredible to be back. My home. My city. Baldur's Gate is where I first raised a glass in toast at the tender age of 14, and got so tipsy from wine, I puked in Dillard Portier's bushes. It's where the flaming fist chased me after I'd stolen a peach from a cart in the Wide. I got a good chewing out over it, too. It's where my father taught me to hold a rapier, to read books of law, to know right from wrong. It's been 7 years since I left. It's no paradise, but it's home, and it's worth saving. And you? The city's yours too, after all. How's it feel to be back? No one knows better than I do the deep shadows haunting Baldur's Gate. But I also know you can find the light if you know where to look. And this I promise, you can always look to me.
Baldur's Gate at last. We should find Sharess's caress. Voss will be waiting. The air grows ever warmer, the hum of life within it louder. It may yet hatch, though not soon by my estimation. In its heat lives stimulation, and in its throbbing, exhilaration. An effigy of Githyanki future, incubated inside a fragile shell. Only if you want me to roast you over a campfire, using my blade as a spit. But it is true that I feel some manner of responsibility for this unhatched whelp. After we free Orpheus, we can revisit the matter. If the egg hatches beforehand, well, we will shield it from the Lich Queen's zealots. Whatever may come, I will not let Vlaakith poison the fledgling with lies. listening.
Civilization beckons at last. It's no water deep, but Baldur's Gate is a respectable runner-up. Or at least a close third.
The next urchin that tries to pick my pocket will lose its hand. Half of the children here are already mutilated by poverty and starvation. I am reminded of the Brehren, the stench streets of Menzoberranzan, where the sick and the outlawed make their homes. Despite the destitution, there is profit and opportunity to be found in such places, if one is willing to wade through the squalor. Yes, I only know it through history books and hearsay. A city of murder and grief. I expect it will live up to its legend. From the still, dark waters of Lake Donegarten to the black academies of Tierbresh, it is a city of wonders and terror. But it is not my home anymore. If I were to return, I would be denied all of its wonders and shown only the terror. For my people, to reject Lolth is to reject life. I am an apostate and would be executed. Though I am proud, I prefer exile to death. I am a daughter of Menzoberranzan's most ancient and powerful house, the Bainray. I lived a life of privilege and danger. My home was at the tallest point of Cuel Arzol, the place of the nobles, a plateau high above the city's sprawl. I enjoyed every luxury, whether harvested in the Underdark or stolen from the surface, and I survived my first assassination attempt while I still suckled at my mother's breast. I tasted her blood that day. She covered my body with her own, and a blade bit deep into her chest, almost puncturing her heart. When I came of age, she tried to take my life herself, and I gave her fresh scars to match those she earned protecting me. I expect so. If the world were to end, I think my mother would survive to rule over the ruins. How so? I could have been born a slave, a serf, or a jaluk. I had every advantage, and my mother showed me how to survive. She taught me to be resilient, and to guard my heart from those who cannot be trusted, literally and figuratively. When I choose to let somebody close, I do not do so lightly. That gives a great depth of meaning to the bonds I do share.
Keeping very well, I hope? Look after my angel, of course. She's been through more than I can bear to think about. 100 years in the Shadowfell. 100 years being murdered by Sharans over and over. It fills me with a rage I can hardly contain. She's a formidable woman, my Aelin. But no one could escape such horrors unscathed. She's in my hands now, and I intend to help her through whatever's to come. We'll both of us stand by you when the time comes to put down the horror that threatens this city. We are your allies, for life. I mourn the man I knew. He was wonderful. He raised me to serve Selûne. When an emissary of this was lucky for... I understand. Then, next time, he told... I found by the... He's gone now. But I suppose the man I knew died when I died. The man he became... That wasn't the father I knew. The one I loved so very much.
Come to bask in the glow of the Moon Maiden's sword? Be most welcome.
Worm's Crossing. The welcome mat of Baldur's Gate. This is it. I'm almost home. I won't lie. The thought hardly fills me with glee. Even with my newfound advantages, he's still an incredibly powerful vampire. But he's arrogant, too. If he does hear I'm back, he'll try to take me and expose himself in the process. Then I'll be able to strike. It's something of a gamble, true, but if I can win, if I can beat him, it would be worth any risk. So yes, I do worry about facing him. But if we can get his attention, finding the ritual's location will be much easier, and that could give me the edge I need.
Soldier, this is it. We're almost to the city. First through Worm's Crossing, then on to the lower city. Oh, it smells the exact same. 10 years on, but still home. Incredible.
Well, are we ready for the...
What's on your mind?
Amicus Animalis.
I brought my own paring knife. Now I just need some ingredients, and I'm gonna make something really good, I promise.
I'm just a cat. Please, talk to Yenna. I don't like talking. Nothing good, I don't think. She was so very sick. Maybe she made like a cat and went off to spend her last life. Please don't. Yenna is my best friend. She's kind. Help her, not me.
Oakfather preserve you.
Naughty, 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 little master. You have disobeyed your father's wishes one time too many. For she who fights with monsters should look to it that she herself becomes a monster. When you gaze long into the abyss also gazes into you. Another will embrace what you have rejected. And that other will be your death. But your father loves you dearly. You may hurt yourself yet. Slaughter your line. Become the last of your name. Lord Baal shall have but one chosen.
Memories flood back, snatches of your story written in the blood of 1,000 victims. Years spent in worship of Baal, leading his savage congregation in prayer, sacrifice, and slaughter. You were their master, and he was yours. A cruel master, a dread lord, a devoted father. All is as you feared. You are a spawn of Baal, his heir, his scion. By eradicating your siblings, you are not the last of your name. Not yet. There is another. The abomination wrapped in flesh you saw in the colony. Orin, it's time for a family reunion. But be wary of your confessors. Will friend turn to foe, knowing what you are? Tonight's troubled rest is, as ever, overwhelmed by your killing fate. You dangle above a dark precipice, one move away from falling. Another watches your body while it is possessed by the night. You do not dream alone.
Dark dreams? I think I can guess. Visions of blood on your hands. The blood in your veins, perhaps. For all the gifts Baal's children inherit, a peaceful night's sleep is not among them. The dreams alone do not concern me. It is what waking deeds they might inspire. Are you truly your own master? What is it you feel when Father's dreams come calling? There is one certain way. I hold it in my hand. This is your father's true legacy. Not his children, but the fear they plant in us. The savagery it blossoms into. In another time, with another of your kind, we found a better way. I would dearly like to find it again. You would not be the first to turn the taint in your blood to your advantage. But there are barriers a Baal spawn must overcome first. Those of your kind. Orin. I am sure you already know that so long as she lives, she will never stop hunting you. It might be that you have to turn and face her. You cannot change that. All you can choose is how you meet her. As another bloodied child of Baal? Or as yourself? All I can offer is the promise that, should you choose to do so, You will not meet her alone. For now, take what rest you can. I will watch over you this night. Sleep well.
No more dreams await you in sleep this night. Only the warm knowledge that indeed you are not alone.
Oakfather preserve you. You are a mortal child of Baal. Be careful with whom you share that fact. I hear many of your kind have met premature ends.
Well, are we ready for the road?
Ask it.
I am no expert on the matter, despite all my experience. But if anything I know can help you resist your father, only ask it. Not mad, no. Take Zarevok, for example. For as much carnage as he caused, there was always a cold calculation to it. He craved power, and his bloodline was just another path to achieve it. I saw that same bloodline turn to better ends than Baal ever intended for it. It was Baalspawn who threatened the coast, and Baalspawn who saved it. It is possible to go on to live a life outside your father's shadow. Then you are wise. I will not mince words. If what you told me is true, you are already further under Baal's power than my old friend ever was. But, so long as you fear that power, there is hope. Fear means you are not fully mad. Not yet. Baal had his minions, certainly. But none that watched over their wards so diligently. I wonder if past experience has taught the great god to fear that another of his children might turn against him. Yes? Your rancid father will try to twist your thoughts, as he did with all his children. The harder you resist, the darker your dreams become. Our camp was often roused by screams in the night back then. We learned to take them as a marker of pride. Even gods can be resisted. A Baalspawn can sire children, certainly. Whether they should... There are things in our nature we might unwittingly pass on, yes. But I do not believe them stronger than the things we choose to pass on. If you are asking whether love and joy are beyond you, just because of the taint in your blood? No. They most certainly are not. Baal was but the beginning. Be warned. A godspawn draws trouble like iron to lodestone. There will be crusaders who wish to rid the world of your taint. Or jealous minds who believe themselves more deserving of the power in your blood. But happiness is not beyond a Baalspawn. It simply comes at a higher cost. Constant vigilance.
Hey, soldier. That's a heavy weight. I know you can carry it, but it's heavy all the same. You are so much more than your parents. You're more than the affliction that wants to consume you. You are my friend. And you get to choose your destiny. Choose well, all right? Please.
I'm listening. I'm not surprised. You've become death incarnate. Mighty, yes. And altogether unpredictable and intractable. One day, perhaps soon, Baal will demand your fealty. You'll either muster the strength to defy him, or you will succumb. I know how I'd choose.
Always good to talk, my friend. Hells. It explains so much. Listen to me. I knew another like you. Gorion's ward. One of Baldur's Gate's great heroes. Baal's blood ran through their veins too. They burned away their own darkness with their own inner light. They chose courage. They chose honor. And so can you.
The urges are calling on you again, aren't they? I haven't seen you sleep through the night once in the past days. I knew you had some nasty habits, but I didn't want to pry over much, but bloody hells! A Baalspawn! Probably more Baldurian parents scare their children with stories of your kind than mine. I thought your kind was extinct. Goes to show, you should always check your facts. So, how are you feeling? Keen to reconnect with your family? Or ready to throw yourself in an oubliette? You know, though I don't look a day over 100, I was alive in Baldur's Gate when the Baalspawn first arose. I was barely aware of it, locked in the kennels as a young spawn. Rather thrilling. I get to watch the bloodshed firsthand. I felt very unfashionable missing out last time.
How can I help? A Baalspawn? Gosh. I know what it is to have a closer connection than most with the gods. But with Baal, that's not a bond I'd like to be bound with. We should be careful. Very, very careful.
I do not understand why the matrons, sorry, patriarchs, of the city do not open their gates to the refugees. I was not suggesting they be allowed to roam free. They should be put to work. The city needs laborers and fodder to protect it. I am suggesting they be fed and sheltered, and that they work in return. Call it whatever you wish. Perhaps you think it would be better for them to starve or be slaughtered here, while the citizens hide behind their walls. You wish to consult me? Tell me, or show me. My mind is open to you. You are heir to a divine inheritance that few would be able to command, but I believe you could. To reject it would be to reject a godhood. You would lose the possibility of shaping the world to fit your desires. Baal is not like the Absolute. He will not control you. He will unleash you. You cannot deny your own blood. Yours is a heritage of murder. It cannot be ignored or evaded. You will either kill or be killed. We must find the Temple of Baal, slaughter Orin, and claim your inheritance.
Why, hello, lover. That sounded more debonair in my head, I'll admit. I suppose that makes you quite remarkable. Though not in a way I'd envy, perhaps. From what little I can recall hearing of Baal's mortal children, not all succumb to his influence. Perhaps you can still resist your nature, if you want to.
Think about it. They're stuck here with
Nearly
no
there
point
now.
and nothing to do.
You can see the city. Up on the hill.
It's up there and we're down here.
For a while, after the Shadow Curse was lifted, I felt hope in a way that I had...
You're going to hire.
It's up there.
Oakfather preserve you.
You have anything you want for supper. All the treats your tummy can handle.
Never allowed sweet things right before bed.
For a while, after the Shadow Curse was lifted, I felt hope in a way that I hadn't felt in years. I thought that nature would heal and balance between it and civilization could be restored once and for all. Yet since we neared the city, I've seen more and more signs that I was being naive. Refugees, orphans, the downtrodden, all being left behind. Perhaps the Shadow Druids were right in their own twisted way. If such sorrows are the fruits of civilization, perhaps there can be no true balance between it and nature.
Look around us. You will not have to search for long to see exactly what I mean. That poor girl, Yenna. This city will devour her as sure as any wild predator would do. Be it through malice or just neglect. Her fate will be sealed by this place. Society should be judged based on how they treat their most vulnerable. Baldur's Gate may deserve harsh judgment from what I've seen so far. I wish I knew. Truly. A problem for another day, perhaps. I just hope there is another day. At least we took Yenna in off the streets. But there are many more out there.
Queen Vlaakith. Skra!
You are Hasharlak, and still you speak my name.
I've seen the captive Orpheus with my own eyes. Spoken to Gestil Kithrak Voss. You lied to us. Enslaved us.
The betrayer Voss lies! I have only a moment, and you, Hasharlak, will listen. We are Githyanki. We move mountains. We snuff out stars. We shake the plains. The traitor Voss has lied to you. The heretic prince would shatter us in an instant. The great dominion shrunk to the head of a pin.
Can this be true? Is the Githyanki prince really a threat to his own people? Or simply a challenge to Vlaakith's rule?
Return to the astral prism. Slay Orpheus the Pretender. Serve me, and I will ascend you. You will be no mere warrior, nor Kithrak. You will be Barta Vlaakith, commander of dragons. My only, my chosen. A final chance. Kneel before me. Make your promise.
Lae'zel's thoughts become yours. The sight of Orpheus looms over her mind. Voss's words echo within it. She means to forever turn her back on Vlaakith.
I gave you my faith, and you called me traitor. I gave you my life, and you ordered your knights to hunt me. I have witnessed too much, and you have given me too little. Finally, I can see. Orpheus will live, and I will hear his creed. This is my word.
Your word is nothing! You are nothing! The Kithraki will bring you. I will tear your flesh from your bones and devour your skull's marrow, while you beg for death. I will consume you. I will unmake you.
It is done. There is no going back. As long as the Undying Queen reigns, I am never to soar unbound over the astral sea, never to cross the one in the void. As it should be. Better a short life built on truth than immortality woven of lies. Better to unite the Githyanki under a prince who would free their minds and honor their bodies. So why do I feel so bitter?
Vlaakith has upended Lae'zel's whole existence. Everything she knew to be true, every plan and aspiration she ever held has been painfully ripped away. Lae'zel's bitterness is born of sadness. She is mourning the loss of the person she once was, and can never be again.
How well you've come to know me. But in truth, she didn't take everything. I have what I have gathered for myself. I'm moored to a new regent, a new land, and new allies. Vlaakith cannot unmake she who no longer exists. And so, from the old battle cries is birthed another.
Shma Salar Orpheus, Ma Stilna Forgin in Yeri. Orpheus's will above all. May the comet blaze my path forward.
Orpheus's freedom is my want and my need. To deny his freedom would be to deny my own. There will come a time when I can think about myself beyond the Lich Queen who enslaves the Githyanki and the prince who would liberate them. But that time won't come until the Prince of the Comet flies again. Vlaakith's left hand and her right. Commander of all dragons, chosen of the Queen Regent. Not since Vlaakith I has a Bart of Vlaakith been anointed. Another empty promise. Only a naive fool would believe otherwise. The kind of fool I was not so long ago. We find Voss at Sharess's caress and retrieve the key to releasing the prince. Orpheus Tough Nasin.
Vlaakith's a fearsome one. The sort it's hard to say no to. But Lae'zel said it anyway, to her immense credit. She's choosing truth. She's choosing freedom. For her, for Orpheus, for the Githyanki people. I wish I knew a good Githyanki cheer to celebrate the occasion, but the only gift phrases I've picked up are the sweary sort.
So, Lae'zel's finally seen the light and turned on her mistress. It took a little time, but she got there. Though it's not over yet. Masters rarely let their slaves go without a fight.
We just played host to an undying queen. Oh, and that's without our fine silverware. Lae'zel has courage turning her back on a lifetime's belief. As for us, best we stay out of interplanar politics, I think. Orpheus is on his own. But should Great Vlaakith come to settle a score with Lae'zel, well, I might be convinced to kill her. Undying or not, she was very loud.
Soldier, my engine. It hurts. I think this might be it. Soon. Things burning hotter than I knew it could. But look,
We've just about made it to the city. That'll do me. Let's go protect it. Whatever happens after that is between me and the so-called gods. With this heat going, I can't spare the energy to think. I just want to enjoy whatever's left of this life of mine. Anyway, it could be worse. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be, with who I'm meant to be with. How many people can say that? Damn! It can't have been easy for Lae'zel to stand up to Vlaakith like that. But there's nothing that woman can't do.
So, it seems that Vlaakith is Lae'zel's queen no longer. That took no small amount of backbone.
Glad to see I'm not the only one on the wrong side of an omnipotent authority figure. Lae'zel did well to break free of Vlaakith's manipulations, though I doubt Vlaakith will let such insubordination go unpunished.
If our traveling companions continue to make poor choices, we will soon have every god in this plane and the next hunting us. Lae'zel risks everything with her childish rebellion.
I can still feel the Shadowfell all over me. Still hear her words in my ear. I feel unclean. You've nothing to be sorry for. Far from it, in fact. Without your help, things could have ended very differently for me. I have an idea. Something I've wanted to do for a while. Something that might help me put her in the past. But I'll need your help. Wait until the others are asleep, then come with me. There's a place we can go, down the coast a little. This will do. Take off your clothes. I don't doubt you in the slightest. Come on then. We've already come this far. A little misdirection. Couldn't resist. What's the matter? I know. But it's nice to hear you say it. This will do. Take off your clothes. Come on, then. We've already come this far. A little misdirection. Couldn't resist. What's the matter? A little misdirection. Couldn't resist. What's the matter? I know. But it's nice to hear you say it. I don't know if I can do this, now that I'm here. All right, just stay close. Oh, hells, that's cold. Come here. Thank you. I needed that. I needed to know I can face things without Shah. I don't want to go back. Not just yet. Just a pebble. Now don't you dare stop.
What's on your mind?
dog is unable to speak through the small bag he holds in?
I don't know. Maybe you can tell me. All I know is I thought of you when I saw it.
You smell very delicious, but I will not bite you. Nice here. The caves smell like rotting meat. Goblin cat smells like goblin. Yes, fun. Ooh, more.
Something the matter? I should hope not, after the time we spent together. My spirits are thoroughly lifted. Oh? Not feeling any regrets, I hope? Trust me, I'll be an eager pupil, if I have a thorough teacher. Though I'm still finding sand in my hair. I wonder what the others will think of that. But of course they will. I hope we'll have more opportunities to slip away. And make sandcastles.
On the hill.
You're going to hire all the refugees. Just like that. That's why we need to walk just a little more. Construction. The possibilities are everywhere.
I never quite realized how burdened I was until I met you. The threat of the Shadow Curse, the politics of the Grove. I was forgetting who I was. But you lifted the fog. Thank you. You. I discovered you. I have lived a very long time. I have taken many lovers. My heart does not stir lightly. But it does now. I want more than to fight at your side, or sit around the campfire with you. I want to lay with you under the stars and feel your skin against mine. I think you feel the same way. Why else would you have been so concerned about whether I had a lover before? But tell me I'm wrong, and the matter can rest. I do not wish to sour our friendship, but I have to know if it can be something more. You have bonded with Shadowheart, body and soul. Her scent lingers on your skin. If there is to be anything between us, it must be with her consent. And perhaps someday, her participation. Some treat their relationships like a walled garden. Tidy, tamed, cut off from the world. That is their right, but it is not for me. I do as nature does, and let my heart run wild. Desire flourishes wherever it finds purchase.
It has its place, but it is not for me. The wolf mates for life, but the bear roams free and partners as its instinct dictates. I need to stay true to my nature, and you to yours. Perhaps you are like me, or perhaps not. Take your time. I'll be waiting.
I didn't think I'd live to see the day when Lae'zel turned her back on Vlaakith. But all things considered, good for her. Why, hello, lover. Of course. Nervous, perhaps? When we entered Worm's Crossing, it felt like it might be the beginning of the end. Whatever happens, I'm glad it's with you next to me. You're talking about Halsin, aren't you? I don't blame you. It'd take a cold heart and cobwebbed loins to ignore him. But what exactly did you have in mind? Bold of you to ask. Some might take the suggestion very badly. Luckily for you, I don't count among their number. If you have a chance to climb Mount Halsin, well, I'd be cruel to deny you. I'll be waiting to hear the details afterwards. Of course. In the spirit of open-mindedness. I want to hear it all. Was there anything else? Besides your increasingly complex love life?
Did you find time to speak with your partner? A potentially delicate topic, I understand. Indeed. I had feared a life in service of Shah might have narrowed her mind. But I'm glad to be proven wrong. There is more to her than even she knows, I feel. Now we will have each other, but not just each other. Our hearts are free to roam, together or apart, as nature designed. Now, I need to restrain myself until we're afforded a quiet moment. Seek your bedroll when you are ready, but do not expect much sleep. Nature has been most kind to let me share in your... You came. I was concerned you might have had doubts, or that this might have all been too soon. Perhaps a little. Do you know how hard it's been for me to contain myself? I'm almost frightened to touch you. If I give in, I may not be able to stop until I've devoured you. Nevertheless, I will be gentle. Or at least, I will try. Just as nature intended. Come here to me. Forgive me, I lost the run of myself. Sometimes, if blood runs hot enough, it's difficult to tame the beast. Well, I need no further encouragement. Forgive me, I lost the run of myself. Sometimes, if blood runs hot... You... like it? Are you certain? It will be untamed, vigorous, and... well... large. I have longed to hear your voice. Speak to me. That was something I had dreamed about for some time. And now I realize just how woefully meager my dreams were compared to the reality. I would still be there with you now, if the sun hadn't intruded on us and the city hadn't stirred for the day. Forgive me, you like it? Well, I need no further encouragement. You truly are a feast for my eyes. Nature outdid itself with you. Did you wish to speak? That was something I had dreamed about for some time. And now I realize just how woefully meager my dreams were compared to the reality. I would still be there with you now, if the sun hadn't intruded on us and the city hadn't stirred for the day. We were as one. The warmth of your skin. The feel of your... I must be careful, or I'll lose the run of myself again. An archdruid should show some restraint. You truly are a feast for my eyes. Nature outdid it. This place is not for me, perhaps. But with you by my side, and the shadow curse of fading memory, I shall keep my head high. Relationship. Such terms belong to civilization, a little unfamiliar to my lips. You know what we share is more fluid, more founded in the principles of nature. Indeed, I am but one of your lovers. You and I should each seek happiness wherever it lies. You are all I want, but I will not hoard you to myself. Let others know the happiness of being with you. Come here to me. Was there something else you wanted, my heart?
Well? Copper for your thought?
Did you want something? If not,
Of course.